Today is very auspicious day, appearance day of personal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Jagadish Pandit. We were singing now this song before recording started by Srila Bhaktyaloka about the glories of Vaishnava. I will read translation. O Hari, when will I recognize who is a Vaishnava? The lotus feet of the Vaishnava are a mine of all auspiciousness. I will become maddened by holding them within my heart. The worshipful Vaishnava is always transcendental, without faults, and full of bliss. He has deep affection for Krishna's name. He is indifferent to mundane affairs, and he melts with compassion for the living beings. The Vaishnava is free from false ego, expert in bhajan, and detached from sense objects. He is free of duplicity internally and externally, and he is filled with loving attachment to the Lord's eternal pastimes. There are three types of Vaishnavas, Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam, and they are distinguished by their characteristics. I have heard that one should give affection to the Kanishta Vaishnava, offer respectful obeisances to the Madhyama Vaishnava, and fully serve the Uttama Vaishnava. When I recognize Vaishnavas according to their qualifications, and thus duly honor them, I shall certainly receive their mercy, which is the source of all success. Bhaktivinoda never speaks to those who out of envy criticize the ever pure character of Vaishnavas. Instead, he always remains silent, will not speak to such an offender, but avoid him. So today is the appearance day of Srila Jagadish Pandit. A little more than 1 week ago, there was his disappearance day. That day we did not have program because we had it in one house. So I will briefly remember. There already I told that in Vrindavan there were some Brahmins, Smarta Brahmins, Karma Kandiya Brahmins who were doing yagyas. And when Krishna and Balaram and cowherd boys came on that day, and they did not take any lunch with them because Krishna said we will not go far, but cowherd boys became hungry. So they requested Krishna, you give us something to eat. Then Krishna said, you go to those Brahmins. They are offering in yagya to me. So you say we directly came and they will give you food. The cowherd boys went, and those Smarta Brahmins, they neglected them. They thought, why some peasant, some boys here, they're coming disturbing our yagyas. And they requested, we want food for Krishna and Balaram. But Brahmins became angry. No, you go away. You don't disturb here our yagya. Though they were uttering Krishnaya Swaha, Baladevaya Swaha. Even cowherd boys, they were surprised. We did not know that our friends, Krishna and Balaram, are such big persons they are offering. But they did not give food. So they became disappointed and came back to Krishna and Balaram. And they said, we did not get any food. You please give us food. Then Krishna said, okay, then you should go to the wives of those Brahmins. They are my devotees. They will give you. They are preparing for yagya, but you request that we came directly, so they will give you. So they came to the wives, and wives were immediately ready. Immediately when they heard that Krishna is Skype, immediately they when they heard that Krishna and Balaram came and they are hungry, they were immediately ready and said, yes, where we should take all food we will take. Then, but the husbands, because they were not devotees, they did not allow those wives to go to the forest to offer service to Krishna and Balaram, but still they were going. Then the husbands also said, if you will go without taking our permission, without getting our permission, you should not come back. So that was like in Vedic society, in Varnashram Dharma level, wife should not go outside without permission of husband, but that is Varnashram Dharma. But here we see that those wives, they wanted to do the highest dharma of a soul, which is service of Krishna. So because their real nature of real self was awakened, they were not listening to their husbands and they went anyway. Even one wife was stopped forcibly by husband. Still, she gave up that body and with Atma she went to serve Krishna. So if you are doing higher dharma, then you will not lose anything. You will gain everything, and also you will do good to others also. So that is why devotees, they are not very particular about all the rules of Varna Ashram Dharma. They are very particular about the service of Krishna, what is for his service and what is not, and those obstacles they are giving up. So they went and they fed Krishna and Balaram and cowherd boys, and Krishna was very satisfied. Then he told them, now you go back. And they said, no, husbands already threatened us that if you will go out, don't come back. And this was also a big deal in Vedic society at that time, because if wife is neglected by husband or rejected, then she has nowhere to go. It is not like nowadays any lady can get any kind of job and can earn money, can have flat, can live independently, no problem. But that time it was not possible. So you are totally doomed if you are rejected by your husband. But in spite of that threat, they went. Why? Because they had devotion to Krishna. How they got it? Because they were hearing Harikatha from Malini. Malini was one gardener and she was picking flowers in that area for making garlands of Krishna and Balaram, and she was loudly singing songs about the glories of Krishna. And by hearing those songs, that Harikatha, these wives awakened their natural devotion to Krishna. That is why they were ready to serve him in spite of all obstacles. So now Krishna told them, go back. They said, no, we have nowhere to go. Then Krishna said, no, you go back. I am in the heart of every living entity. I know your hearts, your husband's hearts have been changed. So you go there, they will accept you. So they went back, and really husbands were very repentant. We could not serve Krishna and Balaram. We are so foolish. We were attached to these karma kanti agyas. So we could not serve Krishna. We are so foolish, but you are so glorious. You have that devotion to Krishna. You went. So then the husbands, they bow down to the feet of wives and praying for their grace. This is in Varna Ashram Dharma, this is not happening. Wife will give dandavat to husband, not husband to wife. But now they did. Why? Because by their wives' good action, that is devotional action, their heart also got changed and they became devotees. And in devotion, that Varna Ashram Dharma rules do not apply. But whoever is superior will bow down. Those who are superior according to devotion, they will bow down to them. So it happened here. So we have to understand that doing devotion is benefit for eternal benefit of all. That should be our action, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. Those who have awakened faith in Krishna and they are eligible for devotion, they should follow the rules and regulations of devotion, not of Varna Ashram Dharma. Varna Ashram Dharma, they will only apply as much as necessary for earning money, but not everything and not covering their devotion. Jnana karma di anavritam should not be covered. Devotion should have upper hand, those rules and regulations of devotion. Only target is what is for the satisfaction of Krishna. That is why Krishna told to Arjuna, you give up all dharmas, you just follow my order. Gopis also, they did not follow Varna Ashram Dharma, they followed service of Krishna. And here also these wives also. And because of them following devotion, by watering at the root of a tree, whole tree is nourished. Like that, if someone performs devotion to Krishna, all are benefited. That is why we should not neglect devotion for the sake of some other things. Then their husbands also got spiritually benefited and they also became devotees. But if these wives would think, no, we are wives, we should not neglect the order of our husbands, we should remain here and serve them. Then they would lose, they would be losers, husbands also would be losers. But here they did the right thing. They went to serve Krishna. That is supreme dharma, Jaiva dharma, Atma dharma, Sanatan dharma. So these two of these wives from Vrindavan, they appeared in Gaur Lila as Jagadish, Pandit and Hiranya, his brother. They appeared in Assam, Guwahati. We have one mat there. We were there many times. Pragjotishpur was that time where Kamakya Devi is residing. So Guwahati, there they appeared, and Jagadish and his wife, they were very religious minded and they were serving parents, but when parents died, they came to live in Mayapur to stay near Ganga so that they can take bath in Ganga. But the Lila was arranged in this way because they are personal associate of Krishna. They made their house neighbor to Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata's house. So when Mahaprabhu appeared, he was a very small baby. At that time already they got the service of Mahaprabhu in parental affection. Jagadish and his wife, both. And they were giving many suggestions, advices to Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata how to take care of this child, Nimai. That is possible only for personal associates of Krishna. So you know, when Mahaprabhu was a baby, he used to cry, and even if they would offer him candies or anything, he would not stop crying. Only when the ladies would chant Haribol, Haribol, Haribol and clapping, then he would stop crying. Means that was his desire. When desire of a child is fulfilled, then he is pacified. So Mahaprabhu wanted to let everyone know, it is my desire that you should chant Harinam. This is what he came to preach. But one day he did not stop crying, even when they were chanting Haribol, Haribol. Then Jagannath Mishra asked Nimai, what do you want? What do we have to give you that you will stop crying? Then he said, in Jagadish Pandit's house today, he's offering big rice offering to Vishnu. I want to take that prasad. And Jagannath Mishra was surprised how such small boy knows today is Ekadashi, and also that Jagadish offered rice, because not all devotees will cook everything on Ekadashi day for Krishna service. They will only cook potato and these things, which they will also take as prasad. But those who are real devotees, they will cook everything on Ekadashi day also, because for Krishna there is no fasting. They will offer everything, but they will not take that prasad. They will keep for next day. So, but Mahaprabhu knew he's offering rice on Ekadashi. Then Jagannath Mishra went there and saw that really it is so. And he told to Jagadish that my boy is crying and he wants this rice offering, but I don't know whether it is good because it is Ekadashi today. Then Jagadish understood that his Nimai is Gopal, Krishna Gopal. Because otherwise how he can know that today is Ekadashi, such small boy, and also how he can know that I offered this rice? It's impossible. So he told to Jagannath Mishra, yes, you take all the rice, everything, you give to him. And he gave, and Mahaprabhu was very happily eating that. And then he stopped crying. Because Supreme Lord's desire is to eat the offering of his devotees, not of non-devotees. So in this way also Jagadish Pandit got his service, and Mahaprabhu showed how dear Jagadish is to him, because that was already their seva in Krishna Lila. These wives, it was their seva to feed Krishna. So now again it happened. Forcefully Krishna is requesting. In Krishna Lila and here in Gaur Lila also. Because he wants to eat what his devotees they are making for him. Then later Mahaprabhu revealed himself as a devotee, and there were many kirtans, and Jagadish Pandit was participating in those kirtans. And then Mahaprabhu also told him, you should go to Puri and take darshan of Jagannath, and you should also preach Nama Sankirtan in Puri. Jagadish went and got darshan of Jagannath every day and also preaching, and then he was going back home, but he was feeling too much separation from Jagannath. Our Gurudev told, if someone really got the grace of Jagannath, then he will have such feeling that he cannot go because of feeling of separation. He does not want to leave Jagannath. So those who are surrendered to Jagannath, they can get such feelings. So Jagadish was unable to go. How I can remain without Jagannath? It is impossible. Then Jagannath appeared in his dream and told him, you can take me with you to your home. Then Jagadish said, how I can take you? You are here in Puri. Then Jagannath said, every 12 years when new deity is made, then the old deity they will keep in one room, Samadhi room. So you can take one of those deities. I will also order to the king, he will give you. And then Jagadish said, but how I will carry you to Bengal? You are very heavy. Then Jagannath said, no, I will become very light. You just tie me in one new cloth and put on stick, and you will carry me because I will become very light. What is impossible for Jagannath? Jagannath is Supreme Lord. He can make himself heavy, he can make himself light, he can do whatever he likes as a deity. So really, he was very light, and king gave him that deity, and Jagadish with 2 Brahmins was going towards Mayapur, but when he came to Chakradaha, he saw Ganga and wanted to take bath, and he gave the Jagannath to Brahmin to hold, because they all 3 they were carrying, sometimes one, sometimes another, like this. So it was not like totally new. So that Brahmin was holding Jagannath because he was very light. But when Jagadish was bathing in Ganga, suddenly Jagannath became very heavy. And that Brahmin could not hold him anymore, and he had to put down. So how this is possible? It is not a statue, it is Supreme Lord himself in the form of wood, but he's himself. But with this material eyes we are unable to recognize. Those who have spiritual eyes, they can see the deity is Krishna himself in such form. Only those who have spiritual eyes, they can get the darshan. So when Jagadish came back, he saw Jagannath is on the ground, and he understood, yes, he wants to stay here. So he gave up his idea of going to Mayapur and made his home there in Chakrada or Chagda, now they're saying in short. And in contrast, because he's a devotee, he accepted this. Jagannath wants to stay here, so I will also stay here. I will worship him here because it is his desire. He did not become angry on Jagannath. Why you don't want to go to Mayapur? In contrast to that, there is one history of Baidyanath Shiva. When Ravan, great demon, he was full of lust. Because he's a demon, so he was always fighting with demigods, and there was disturbance there in Lanka. So he thought, if I can bring Shiva to this place, then I will have no disturbance. Others will not disturb knowing that Shiva is here on my side. So he thought Shiva is very easily pleased. So I will go to Kailash, I will worship him, and I will bring him to Sri Lanka. Then I will have no disturbance. Then he went to Kailash, worshipped Shiva, and Shiva is very easily pleased, so he gave darshan and asked, what do you want? Then Ravan, outwardly acting like a pure devotee, he said, I don't want anything. I just want your service. You please come with me to Sri Lanka in my place. I will keep you there and I will serve you. This is all I want. Only I want your service, nothing else. Then Shiva said, okay, I'm giving you my linga that is not different from me. You take me to Sri Lanka. But you should not put me down at any place. Then Ravan said, yes, straight I will go. Then when demigods saw that Ravan is carrying Shiva to Sri Lanka, they also thought it will be some problem if Shiva is there. So Indra then ordered Varun Dev, god of water, to enter into Ravan, and he did, and Ravan felt urge to urinate. So he gave Shiva to the hand of some Brahmin there and went to pass urine. But because god of water was there, it didn't stop. It was just going on and on and on. Then after some time that Brahmin said, you come back, I cannot hold Shiva for so long. He's becoming heavy. So I cannot hold him so long. But Ravan could not come. So ultimately that Brahmin could not hold Shiva anymore and he put him on the ground. And immediately after that, Varuna left Ravan and Ravan came back and said, Shiva, let us go now to Sri Lanka. But Shiva did not reply anything because already condition was before that you should not put me on the ground. And Ravan was praying in so many ways. I only want your service. You please come with me like this. But Shiva did not want to go. Then ultimately, because his self-interest of Ravan was not fulfilled, he was not actually devotee. He wanted to use Shiva for his own purpose. But outwardly saying, yes, I only want your service. Shiva knows everything. That is why this arrangement was made like that. So whenever our selfish interest is not fulfilled, then we become angry and hateful and violent. Kama krodha bijayate. By the fruit we can know the tree, whether there is pure devotion or there is some self-interest there, or like a loving relationship. Yes, I love you, unconditional love and all these things, but immediately when self-interest is not fulfilled, immediately that so-called love will transform into hate and violence. So here also Ravan became angry on Shiva and he boxed him. So immediately his pure devotion was exposed, that it is not there. But because that is lust, we may also act like a devotees, but Krishna knows everything and it will be shown also, it will be exposed in due course of time. Like in Slovenian language we say, that, it will be shown from what kind of dough you are made, like bread. If it is good dough, then good bread will come. So there is saying, is kashnega testasi, it will be exposed. By seeing the bread, it will be seen what kind of dough it was, whether all proper ingredients were there, so bread will be nice, but if not all ingredients there, then bread cannot be nice. So he boxed Shiva, he became violent to Shiva. But here we see Jagadish Pandit, he accepted, it is the desire of Jagannath to stay here. So I will also stay here, I will serve him. But the king of that area, Krishnanagar king, he became disturbed. Why you brought this deity here? You are very poor and you want me to take responsibility of serving this deity, because it is in India, according to Vedic, if there is any deity in the kingdom, king is also responsible for the service of that deity. So here this king said, you take him out. You go to your own place where you wanted to go. Then Jagadish said, I wanted to go, but Jagannath does not want to go. I cannot lift him. He does not want to go. I carried him up to here, but he wants to stay here. So what I can do? Then the king did not believe. Then he said, okay, if I will bring my men and they can carry him to your place, then you will go. He said, yes, if Jagannath wants to go, then I can go. So the king brought his own strong men, but they could not lift Jagannath. Then using elephants and all his power he used, but could not move Jagannath, even 1 inch. Then king also understood, yes, it is Jagannath's desire. He wants to stay here, and he begged forgiveness from Jagadish Pandit, and he himself, that king, made first temple for the Jagannath that is halfway from Calcutta to Mayapur, called Chakradaha or Chagda or Jashra. So then Jagadish and Dukhini Mata, his wife, they were serving Jagannath there in that temple with great devotion. And 2 times also Gauranga and Nityananda also came there. And there was a Sankirtan festival and Prasad festival 2 times. Second time when they wanted to go, then Dukhini Mata started crying that I cannot remain without you, without your service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Mahaprabhu said, okay, I'm giving you my deity, Gaur Gopal. That is the only deity which is, that Mahaprabhu is like a small baby. Otherwise you have deities of Mahaprabhu as a householder, doing Sankirtan, or as a sannyasi also, that is more rare. But this one is Gaur Gopal. It is baby Mahaprabhu. Why? Because Dukhini Mata was having Vatsalya Bhav for Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu gave her that deity, you serve me. And that deity also was physically eating everything to satisfy Dukhini Mata. So you see, Jagadish Pandit got Jagannath and Dukhini Mata got Gaur Gopal. So if someone is a devotee, he wants to serve, then always he will get that service. And they also had one son, Jagadish and Dukhini Mata, and through him there is a family lineage, and they were serving the Jagannath, and other people were supporting also with donation and giving land and everything. But after, I think at the 8th generation, there was some financial problem happening. That is also by the will of Krishna. And they could not maintain that house, and they could not maintain the service. Then they offered this Jagannath Deity Seva to our Parangurudev. And Parangurudev, at first he was hesitating. He said, if you need money, I can give you money. Or also I can come, occasionally I can come here, I can speak Harikatha, I can participate in the festival. No need to give me everything. They said, no, everything we will give you. All Seva. Including the land, everything, all property, totally everything we will give you, because you are a capable man. You can serve Jagannath. So you see, sometimes family lineage also will become unable. So it is not always that only family lineages can keep this seva. Spiritual disciple lineages also, they are there. So first, then again, Parangurudev was hesitating and also showing the principle that we should not accept, we should be always under the guidance of superior devotees. So Parangurudev, he went to Srila Sridhar Maharaj in Navadip, and he told him that you please take this Jagannath Seva. Then Sridhar Maharaj said, no, Jagannath wants from you. So you have to accept his Seva. He wants from you. Then Parangurudev accepted, and he made repair to the building. He made festivals. He made one guest house there, renovated and everything. So in this way, the Jagannath is now under Sri Chaitanya Gauriya Math. Parang Gurudev was doing Seva, then Gurudev, now also it is going on. There was a big festival during Jagadish Pandit's disappearance day. Today is his appearance day. If you go to that temple you can see original Jagannath, you can have darshan. In Puri we cannot go, Westerners, but here you can see him, original. And that stick on which Jagadish Pandit was carrying, you can see. And Gaur Gopal Diti you can see. And Radha Ballabh and Krishna Balaram also are there, Ditis. Because in Krishna Lila, they are serving Jagadish, they are serving Krishna Balaram, feeding them. So all Ditis there, and the guest house, very nice place, is secluded, and Ganga is near, you can take bath. And there is no Ratha Yatra there, because Ratha Yatra means from Kurukshetra, mood of opulence, gopis, they are pulling Krishna to Vrindavan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pulling Jagannath from Dwaraka to Gundicha, to Vrindavan. But here, Jagadish Pandit is already Brajavasi. So his mood of serving Jagannath is already in Vrindavan mood, like always Gundicha. So there is no need of Ratha Yatra because there is no opulence mood there. Snan Yatra is very big, famous. The day of Lord Jagannath's appearance, Snan Yatra is celebrated with bathing. And one Siddha Babaji, perfected Babaji of Kalna, that is Bhagavan Das Babaji Maharaj, he did bhajan for some time in that place. So it is very auspicious place. If you have chance, you can go there, take darshan of Jagannath and Gaur Gopal, Radha Ballabh, Krishna Balaram. Garuda Stampa is also there. Garuda, always where there is Jagannath, there is Garuda is there. Mahaprabhu used to take darshan of Jagannath behind Garuda's pillar. So there is Garuda also, you can see him. So today is Jagadish Pandit's appearance day. I am bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy. That song is always sang in that mat there. Jai Jai Jagannath, Sachiranandan, Tribhuvana Kore Jar Charana Bandhan. At the end it is Jai Krishna, Say Gaur, Say Jagannath. That, or Jai Gaur, Say Krishna, Say Jagannath. That Gauranga Mahaprabhu is same as Krishna and is same as Jagannath. Also, in that song it is said, some say that Gauranga Mahaprabhu, before he killed Ravan, how as Ramchandra, Bhagavan. Today it was a very big event in India because in Ayodhya Dham, which is the birthplace of Ramchandra Bhagavan, that place, before there was a temple many years back, many centuries, but Muslims, when they invaded, they removed that and they put one mosque on that exact place. So it was not possible to get that place, and there were many problems. For many years they were doing bhajan there also. So it finally could happen in 2019 that the Hindus, they could get that place back from Muslims, and then when they got, then they started building temple, and today they installed the deity of Ramchandra there. So it's a big event. in India, and really it is very auspicious. Ramchandra should be worshipped there, on that birthplace, his birthplace, not mosque. So today they made a big festival. And we are hearing Bhaktyaloka about Laulyam, that is greed, desire, or fickleness. Yesterday we heard one can follow dharma to attain money, but not for sense gratification, but should use it for survival so that he can inquire into absolute truth or worship Supreme Lord. Then there is no sin. Another name for this dharma is Jukta Vairagya, to utilize everything for the service of Krishna. One must give up the desire for liberation completely. There are 5 types of liberation: Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, Sarupya, and Sayujya. For the sadhaka, Sayujya is most detestable. Why? Because in Sayujya, total merging, there is no opportunity of any kind of seva of Supreme Lord. So for them that is like a hell. Though there is no suffering there, but there is no positive bliss of serving Krishna. So for them that is not acceptable. Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, and Sarupya, even if devoid of desire for enjoyment, are not desirable. Because seva is there is very slight, not much seva. If the jiva becomes free from matter by the strength of bhakti, he attains liberation at the same time. But that liberation is a secondary result of bhakti. It is not the main result. The pure Krishna prema attained by the liberated person is the main result of sadhana bhakti. In this regard, Sarvabhaum's statement is very sweet. Salokyadi chari jodi hoy seva dvar, tobu kadachit bhakta kore angikar, sayuja shunite bhakter hoy grina bhoy, narak banche tobu sayuja na loy, brahme ishware sayuja duito prakar, brahma sayuja hoyte ishwar sayuja dhikar. If there is a chance to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a pure devotee sometimes accepts the Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, or Sarshti forms of liberation. If there is a chance of service, then they accept. But never Sayuja. A pure devotee does not like even to hear about Sayuja Mukti, which inspires him with fear and hatred, grina, hate. Indeed, the pure devotee would rather go to hell than merge into the effulgence of the Lord. There are 2 kinds of Sayuja Mukti: merging into the Brahman effulgence and merging into the personal body of the Lord. Merging into the Lord's body is even more abominable than merging into his effulgence. There is no seva there. So devotees, they don't want to accept. The meaning is that for the devotee desiring Krishna, liberation in the form of destroying relationship with matter is easily achieved by the devotee. It is not proper to spoil the activities of bhakti by desiring liberation. There, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sang, Taba swalpa spurti pai, ugra tapa dure jai, linga bhanga hoy anayase. In song Jai Jai Harinam, if one gets a little glimpse of you, Harinam, Tava swalpa spurti pai. Ugra tapa dure jai. Very heavy ugra, heavy miseries, they go far away. Ugra tapa dure jai. Linga bhanga hoy anayase. And very easily, anayase, very easily, one's subtle body, linga, will be cut, means destroyed, means you will get liberation. Example is Ajamil. By Nama Bhas only, he got removal of all sins, means all miseries, everything, and he got liberation. He cut relationship with matter. So it is not very difficult to get for devotee. Automatically, as a side effect, it is coming by Namabhas. But desiring liberation separately, that is anti-devotional. Because devotee, his desire is only to serve Krishna. He is not praying for liberation. That would be some diversion of his attention. That is why devotees' target is only satisfaction of Krishna. And when he is doing service of Krishna, that liberation from matter is automatically happening. No separate endeavor, no separate desire for that. So a devotee does not want to spoil the activities of bhakti by desiring liberation. That is diversion. That is why Mahaprabhu said, birth after birth, may I have devotion. Means I am not desiring liberation. I only want your service. But liberation automatically happens for such a devotee, and very easily. Carefully giving up material lowliya is most necessary for the sadhaka of bhakti. So material lowliya, why he's using the word material? Because lowliya in spiritual sense is very desirable. Greed or desire or restlessness also is very desirable when it is spiritual greed to serve Krishna, spiritual desire to serve Krishna, becoming very anxious, restless to serve Krishna. That is okay. But material lowliya, greed for material things, attachment to material things, and that restlessness, and also desire for material things, that is all detrimental. So devotees, they should give up that. Then they can progress in their sadhana bhakti. So in this way, the 6 faults were described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in detail, but this is not meant only for hearing and speaking. It is meant we have to apply this in our life. Really, we have to practice this, giving up all these faults. Otherwise, we cannot progress in bhakti. So tomorrow we will hear about Srila Bhakti Kumud Shanta Gosai Maharaj. If there is any time, we can continue with part 2 about 6 good qualities for devotion. Otherwise, later on, we can continue. First is, utsaha, enthusiasm to perform devotional forms. That is one quality which will nourish devotion.